Governor Bill Haslam has just arrived on the scene. We're going to hear what he has to say about this.
This has obviously been a sad last 20 hours in Chattanooga. I've been incredibly impressed with the way the city has reacted to the tragedy, as well as the way that law enforcement has. From the very beginning, Chattanooga PD did an incredible job, and then Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, as well as the FBI, have been tremendous. The FBI is committed to bringing in their full range of resources to make certain they can know everything they possibly can about the situation, and they're doing tremendous work right now to dig into every possible lead. If any of your viewers hears of any leads or has anything, there is a number that they can call with the Chattanooga PD. We would encourage them to do that, obviously, with any responsible insight that they have. In the meantime, I think Chattanooga will do what it does best: support each other and commit to the process that's needed for a grieving city. And like I said, I'm incredibly grateful for the work that's happened here on the local level.
Governor, this man seems like he was a normal guy. That, from what we've learned of him, does that make you concerned that he wasn't really on any sort of radar?
Well, I think it shows the difficulty of law enforcement's challenge, is that sometimes there's incidents that happen that can't be predicted, and so all we can do is do everything we can to be prepared in those situations and to learn everything we can. I think that's why the FBI bringing, like I said, such a comprehensive resource team to address this, in the end, will be very helpful for us to try to find out more about how in the world did we end up in a horrible place like this.
Governor, what have you learned about the victims this morning? Any briefings yet?
Well, we have not. The Department of Defense is controlling that information, as is their process. They'll do that. They'll do the autopsies themselves, and they'll control everything about the victims.
The officer that was injured, do we know how he's doing at this time?
I think, as the police chief would say, for a man who's been shot, he's doing as well as can be expected. And I think the long-term reports for him are very encouraging.
Governor, any idea how he was able to make it from here up 7 miles and able to pull off what he did without being stopped by law enforcement?
Well, I think maybe the more surprising thing is that law enforcement was able to engage as quick as it did. So he was able to, fire shots here. Those reports, and law enforcement responded quickly enough that they could literally be to find him as he's going from here to there. Actually, I think they did a remarkable job of responding from everything that I've heard.
Governor, would you consider this an act of terrorism?
I don't know enough to say that, and again, I think we'll let the U.S. Attorney make that call about whether it is. I think that's why you do the homework, to find out, is this just one person who, for whatever reason, committed a stupid, horrible act, or was there another connection? That's why the FBI will do their work.
How long do you plan to stay in the area?
We're playing it by ear, so we'll see. Like I said, I think the rule is as long as you can be helpful and make certain you're not in the way for the folks who are really doing the investigation.
And what message do you have to the city of Chattanooga?
I think 2 messages for Chattanooga. Number one, just know that literally the whole state is praying for you. I can't tell you how many calls I've gotten saying if there's anything at all we can do for Chattanooga, let us know, number one. And then number two, I'm just so impressed with this city's heart and the way they respond, from people showing up at worship services to pray, to people saying, just tell us anything we can do and we'll help. That says that's who Chattanooga is.
How do we take care of the military families now, Governor?
Well, again, I think we'll have to wait for the Department of Defense to release the information. I know there's a lot of people in Chattanooga that are wanting to reach out to those families. As a matter of fact, around the state, I've gotten multiple calls from pastors and other folks around the state saying, tell us how we can help the families, and obviously we're waiting for the Department of Defense to follow their procedures. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Governor. All right, that was Governor Bill Haslam that just arrived here on the scene at Lee Highway. This is where the first shooting occurred. He talked a little bit about who the man was. He talked about some of the families here that are grieving and that they're still looking into this. And of course, they don't know the connection still. And so he's here on the scene to share his condolences, and he's here in Chattanooga to continue looking into this investigation with the FBI. We're going to have more updates throughout the show. For now, reporting live at 12 on Lee Highway in Chattanooga, Caitlin Jones, WDEF News 12.